Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ online video tutorials. We shall take up a chapter reproduction in animals of class 8th CBSE. Right now on your screen you find many animals, right? But if you look around, then you will find animals from single cell to multicellular all over. Some of them cannot be seen by naked eyes, requires microscope. Now what do you mean by reproduction, right? Reproducing. When a camel gives birth to baby camel, it's a reproduction. And so as with elephant, ants, snake or zebra or any other animal, right? But look at this process of reproduction. When elephant gives birth to a baby elephant, they are genetically same, right? Remember this, genetically same. And what do you mean by genetically same? They look similar. They don't look identical. They are not exact Xerox copy of each other, but they are similar in nature. You cannot expect a camel to be born as a baby elephant or an ant to be born for any reptile or a snake, right? So whenever there is a reproduction, you will find the offspring. What do you mean by offspring? Is the product of the reproduction, that is a baby of the parent, and that will be biologically or genetically same, right? And that is why reproduction by definition is a process of producing offspring. Look at this, offspring that are biologically and genetically similar. They are not identical, they are similar to the parent organism. And who is the parent organism here? This animal is a parent, here a bigger elephant is a parent, here is a bigger snake is a parent, and so on. You will find a similar offspring in these cases. Now why do we require reproduction? What happens if these animals do not reproduce? What is the importance of reproduction? Just imagine that this colorful and bountiful world around us with trees and millions of organisms all around, if they start disappearing from our surrounding because of no reproduction, then what would have happened? If the birds go, and if you don't find birds or animals, right, and even the trees, okay, finally the entire surrounding will be totally, a kind of dry land. And that is why reproduction is very important. Okay, now suppose a question comes that what is the importance of reproduction? Number one, it helps to maintain the number of species. What do you mean by species? Right? Species you have studied in the previous chapter. What do you mean by species? Species is a group of animals. They are very similar to each other, like dogs. Dog. All dogs are of particular species. Humans, all humans are Homo sapiens. They are a separate species, right? So reproduction helps maintaining the number of species all around, right? And so what happens if the number is maintained? Because there is a perfect balance in the nature. We all help each other when we live. So if particular species number comes down, then that affects everywhere. Look at the panda. The number of pandas in the world is drastically reduced because of many reasons, and one of which is reproduction, right? Some of the animals, are already extinct, like the animal which is seen here. This was to be found in India, as well as Indian cheetah, you can even see, is almost an extinct animal. Extinct means they are not found now. You can see only a black and white drawn picture in future. Okay, again, problem is reproduction. And another important feature of the reproduction is it ensures the continuity of similar kind of individuals, right? Similar kind means what? A camel can give birth to camel, an elephant can be a baby elephant, okay? Or what is that baby elephant name called? Calf. It is essential to create variations in species through genetic combinations. What do you mean by genetic combination? Genetic combination will give rise to better variations in the species. You already know that the elephant belongs to one particular species, and so as humans, right? So among humans we find varieties. Among elephant you find varieties, right? So even we can even study the variations. So the last and important point here is creating variations in the species through genetic combination, and we can even study the evolution of these variations. For example, if you take an example of a dog, there is a dog called a Mudhol Hound. You see this Mudhol Hound. It's a combination of a local Mudhol dog as well as British Hound. Okay, when these two could combine, okay, genetical combinations. So this is a crossbreed, we call it as, and this species will have a strength and all the characters of both of these dogs, right? And that is what I said, reproduction helps in creating variations in species through genetic combination, and also we can study them, right? And so therefore please take down these importance, because you can expect the question what are, or list out the importance of reproduction. The first question can be what is reproduction, right? A second question can be what are the importance of reproduction. So I hope you have understood this. These pictures are just to tell you that variations due to genetic combinations. You will find many type of giraffes, different color, many dogs. All these are the results of genetic combinations, through genetic combinations, right? So this is what the importance of reproduction. Now as far as types of reproduction is concerned, we have two types, right? So remember these two types: sexual reproduction, right, and asexual reproduction. Now here let me give a brief of what exactly sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction mean, right? Let me give you a brief introduction of what does sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction mean, okay? And then we have a differences also among this. So sexual reproduction requires a father as well as a mother. So they require parents. Remember this, sexual reproduction. Okay, let's go ahead with this. So what happens in this during sexual reproduction is that each parent contribute a sex cell. So he gives his sex cell, which is called gamete, or called male gamete, male gamete, not female gamete, and a mother will give a female gamete. So look at this word. Okay, these two are the sex cells, right? So they contribute gamete, a sex cell. And what do you see is a cell which is contributed by father, right? So this is called sperm. And the sex cell which is contributed by mother is called egg, right? So that is what is about the male and female gametes, right? When these gametes combine during fertilization, okay, they give rise to one more stage, what is called formation of zygote. Okay, so this is a fusion. Due to fusion, or fusion means what? Combination. Sperm as well as egg will give you a zygote, and that zygote is a single cell, and that single cell further continues to become multicellular, and that stage is called embryo, and that embryo after a few weeks, okay, converts into a stage what we call baby. So this is what happens in sexual reproduction. Remember this. Okay. Whereas in the asexual reproduction, we don't require both the parents, only single parent will do all the work. Okay, that is the major difference between a sexual reproduction and the asexual reproduction, right? And this happens, you know, in bacteria and other animals. So major type of the sexual reproductions are, you know, binary fission. Let me tell you what do you mean by binary fission, and then budding, okay, and fragmentation, and then parthenogenesis. So these are the 4 types of asexual reproduction. But remember, let us go in detail about this in the next video tutorial. But remember that the major difference is in sexual reproduction we require both the parents, and here just a single parent is enough. We shall close this video tutorial here and see you in detail again with these two and the differences, because you can expect question, what are the differences between sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. We'll list out all these differences, right? That will help you to write proper answer in the examination. Thank you very much. See you in the next video tutorial.